Today I'll make these 3 cocktails.
Aren't those just 3 bottles? Can you even call that a cocktail?
Anyone could make that.
Yes, you can. And yes, that's the beauty of it. Today we'll talk about all the great benefits of batching cocktails, including how you can save your time and money. I'll show you how to make them 3 different ones for shaken, stirred and carbonized cocktails. Plus, we'll use up leftovers from fermenting your own ingredients that would otherwise have been thrown out. We did that in a special episode with Fermented Grapefruit Sodas, so go check it out if you haven't yet. We've again partnered with Mijenta Tequila, which has sustainability in their DNA and is working towards creating a positive change in the cocktail world as part of their Eco Verde program, with the goal of inspiring a more sustainable cocktail making mindset in bars around the world. I'm happy they see cocktail time as a tool that can help with that. Also, their tequila really is amazing. We'll use it to make 3 delicious cocktails, including one with DIY pineapple tequila liqueur. And if you reach the bottom of the glass, I'll share a fun fact about how far back in history these cocktails go. But first, it's batching cocktail time. What is batching, and why is it so smart to use it when you're making a large amount of cocktails? Batching is the practice of mixing larger quantities of cocktail ingredients together in advance, rather than preparing each cocktail individually, as orders come in. This can be done hours, or with ingredients like super juice even days ahead. We recently went in depth into super juice. Check that out as well. I use batch cocktails when hosting parties, or when working on guest shifts. It's fast, consistent and efficient. And don't worry if somebody says that making batch cocktails is killing the charm of bartending or mixology. I'd say it's exactly the opposite. By making a drink that's always consistent, but made and served faster on the spot, you have more time to dedicate to the guest, to explain what's in the drink and give them the best cocktail experience, before you have to make another cocktail for the guy snapping his fingers at the other side of the bar. Don't be that guy. Ever. But of course, if it's a super busy night, or even if you're hosting some friends, you just want to pump out the cocktails as fast as possible, right? Batching cocktails beforehand means the measurements are always consistent, and you're not messing with multiple bottles, squeezing citrus, or cracking eggs for egg whites. Do the work beforehand, be precise about it, and scale it for however much you need. We've made Mijenta calculators on kevincost.com to help you out with that. For all cocktails you'll see today, I'll be using scales, so the amounts will be in grams. These are quite precise, but even if you're off a little bit with an ingredient, that will distribute across multiple cocktails, so it's even harder to mess up. Enough talk, let's get to making some cocktails. As mentioned, each cocktail will feature repurposed leftovers for making different fermented grapefruit sodas, lacto-fermented grapefruit, pineapple tepache, and a ginger buck. I'll use them to make grapefruit super foam, pineapple tequila liqueur, and a honey ginger syrup. I'll prep each ingredient and make a batch cocktail with it, before moving on to the next, and we'll serve the cocktails and taste them at the end. Starting with the leftovers from lacto-fermented grapefruit, which we dehydrated using a food dehydrator. An oven would work as well, or even sun drying in the summer. I'll then blend our dried leftovers into a powder using a spice grinder or blender. This will be used to make our flavored super foam, but we're already thinking ahead to the next episode, where we'll use it for a topic we haven't covered yet. For the grapefruit super foam, our flavored vegan foamer will blend together 350 grams of water and 8 grams of our fermented grapefruit powder for about 30 seconds. Then we'll place this in a small saucepan and bring it to a boil for about a minute to make sure we kill the yeast. We don't want the super foam to ferment. Then strain it through a cloth filter to strain out the solids. A coffee filter would get clogged up too quickly. I'll split our grapefruit water into 2 parts. 150 grams of it are going in an ice bath to cool down completely, and we'll place the other 100 grams of it back in the saucepan and bring to a boil once again. We'll use this part to mix in and hydrate all of the powders we're using, and the chilled part to cool down the mixture. So let's mix in 1.5 grams of methyl cellulose, 0.15 grams of xanthan gum, and 10 grams of gum arabic. I'm using a magnetic stirrer, but a whisk would work as well. Mix for about 5 minutes. I'm using pure methyl cellulose, or E461, but Metocell F50, labeled as E464, should work as well. After 5 minutes, add 150 grams of now cold grapefruit water to chill down our mixture and fully hydrate everything. So leave to mix for about 5 minutes. Then bottle and label your LFG or lacto-fermented grapefruit superfoam, and you're ready to batch the first cocktail. As mentioned, we'll be measuring the ingredients with a scale, and we are making enough for a 700 ml bottle. Find the Mijenta calculators on my website to help you scale up or down as needed. Starting with the base, we're using Mijenta Reposado, aged up to 6 months, in a blend of American white oak, French oak, and acacia casks, presenting a more mature and fuller expression. With a long finish on the palate, we need 310 grams. Next up, 123 grams of lemon super juice. We've covered why this is a superior alternative to fresh juice, but it's really essential for batch sour cocktails due to its shelf life. For sweetener, we are of course going with agave syrup to pair with the tequila from a producer that won the title of Agave Producer of the Year. Add 150 grams of agave syrup. This is 3 parts agave nectar and 2 parts water. And in place of egg whites, but also for some extra flavor, 123 grams of grapefruit super foam. To boost the flavors, we're also adding 11 drops of saline solution. That's 0.84 grams. Let's rinse everything out and that's it. Add the label, place it in the fridge and use when needed. I'll first make the other 2 batches as well. For the Piña and Piña cocktail, we'll first need to make pineapple liqueur, for which we're using the pineapple leftovers for making tepache, as well as a part of the tepache itself. You could place tepache and the leftovers in the freezer if you didn't make this right after fermenting. So into a blender, add 150 grams of leftover fermented pineapple rinds and flash, with 100 grams of the tepache. For the base we'll use 400 milliliters, or 376 grams of Mijenta Blanco Tequila, to give our liqueur some complexity, compared to if we used vodka. And of course you need something sweet to make a liqueur, so add 120 grams of agave nectar to pair it perfectly with agave spirit. Even with this amount of sweetness added, any further fermentation won't be possible due to the alcohol content of our liqueur. Blend on high speed for at least 30 seconds, then leave it to sit for about 30 minutes. You'll see separation starting to happen. That's when we'll filter it through a cloth filter. This won't end up perfectly clear, but you can still refilter that first part for better results. To get out all the liqueur, I'm placing everything with the filter into a potato ricer and giving it a good squeeze. You could strain this through a coffee filter as well, to make it even clearer. Otherwise, add a label and let's batch the Piña and Piña, our pineapple and tequila cocktail. Start with 420 grams of the freshly made pineapple liqueur. This will be the only sweetener in the cocktail. To that we'll add 110 grams of Mijenta Reposado, the star of the day. And since we'll be carbonating this drink, we're adding clarified lime super juice, 117 grams. I showed clarifying orange super juice with agar-agar previously. It works the same way for lime. For a bit of herbal notes, add 61 grams of yellow chartreuse. And again, for salt to enhance the flavors, just like in cooking, add 16 drops of saline solution, which is 1.22 grams. Rinse and that's it. We're not adding water here, but make sure to have really cold water ready for when we serve this cocktail. But let's first get the last cocktail batched as well. To make it, we'll need a honey and ginger syrup, made with leftovers from making a ginger bock. It still has some kick to it, so let's get that out by placing 40 grams of fermented ginger into a blender and adding 130 grams of water. Blend on high speed and strain through a cloth filter. Again, squeeze out all the liquid before we mix the ginger water with some honey. Since honey has quite a lot of yeast as well, this could kickstart fermentation again, but since we are using it in a high-proof cocktail, we should be good. If you'd like the syrup for something like a classic penicillin, you should still cook the ginger first to kill off any yeast. I'll mix 100 grams of honey with 64 grams of ginger water to get as close as possible to a 50 brick syrup, same as 1:1 simple syrup. Mix it in without heating it up to keep the nutritional value of honey. With that, we are ready to batch the Mexican medicine. Before we batch this cocktail, we have a decision to make. You can batch only the ingredients, or you can pre-dilute it and place it in the freezer with water added. So once you pour it over the ice in the glass, it's ready to drink. That way you can save on the amount of ice you need for stirring and diluting the cocktail, if you are serving hundreds of spirit-forward cocktails per day. I've got a few nice homemade blocks of ice ready, so I'll dilute the cocktail with that, meaning we're not adding water now. Start with the same bottle as before, Mijenta Reposado. This time we need 585 grams. Next, our zero waste honey and ginger syrup, 95 grams. It will provide sweetness and spiciness. For a citrus note, I'm adding lemon bitters. Bitters keep it the old-fashioned style, and lemon ties it to the penicillin. But lime or orange bitters work as well. Based on the total volume, we need 42 dashes, which is 21 grams. And lastly, saline solution. To make it, I dissolve 20 grams of salt in 80 grams of water. Here we need 21 drops, or 1.6 grams if you have a precision scale. Again, rinse out all of your vessels, add a label of some kind, and the cocktail is ready. With honey and ginger, the cocktail isn't completely clear, but you'll soon get sediments on the bottom, so you could filter the cocktail with your coffee filter after that. At the end of the episode, you'll see the single serve specs for all 3 cocktails, if you'd like to make them just for yourself. Now let's make and taste the cocktails that are waiting in these bottles, the quick and easy way. You could make this with a nitro siphon, like we did in the tap cocktails episode, but a shaker will work fine as well, just mixing ingredients in the bottle, then pour out 3.5 ounce or 105 ml of our batched Mijenta Sour cocktail. From one bottle, that's it. And while we'd usually need to do a reverse dry shake, because of the super foam, we can actually froth it up with a milk frother before we add the ice. Once you see air incorporated in the drink, add ice and shake to dilute the cocktail. Strain into a mug or lowball glass with ice. And have it garnished with a rim of salt. Cheers! We made a tequila sour that has a subtle bitter taste of grapefruit with a gentle fermented note. The nice foam provides silkiness, while Mijenta Reposado has beautiful caramel notes with full agave flavor. Let's see if the Piña and Piña can match it. Like mentioned, you could pour this cocktail in a glass and top it up with soda water, but we'll carbonate the whole cocktail with an easy twist and sparkle. Pour in 12 ounces or 360 ml of our batched Piña and Piña cocktail and add 16 ounces or 480 ml of water. Make sure both are as cold as possible. Add a first CO2 cartridge. Wait until the bubbles settle and for the CO2 to integrate into the drink, then add a second CO2 cartridge. Once the bubbling dies down a little bit once again, we can open the bottle and pour our cocktail into a highball glass filled with ice. Garnish with a simple pineapple leaf, which you can keep in the freezer, and that's it. Beautiful. The fermented pineapple and herbal notes add complexity to the cocktail, with tequila still shining as the star. A Reposado tequila provides a beautiful backbone and a little extra complexity to this wonderful highball. It's an excellent summer sipper. Now let's serve and taste the Mexican medicine. As mentioned, this could be just poured, garnished and enjoyed, but we didn't pre-dilute it, so we'll do that now, after we pour 2 ounces or 60 ml over a clear ice block in a low tumbler glass. Give it a good stir to properly dilute the cocktail before we add the final ingredient, a spray of mezcal. Just pour a small amount of a mezcal you like into a spray bottle and you're ready to go. This will be a nice smoky pairing to the ginger. Speaking of, add a piece of candied ginger. Fuego. This tequila fusion of a penicillin and an old-fashioned really showcases the Mijenta Reposado's smooth richness. It's complex, boozy, subtly sweet and fresh at the same time, like medicine for my people. With that, you reach the bottom of the glass. A fun fact about batched cocktails is that they are actually some of the first cocktails recorded. That's right, the punch bowl was mixed and placed on the tables from the East Indies to the coffee houses in London, as far back as the 17th century. David Wondrich wrote a whole book on what he called the original monarch of the mixed drinks, so add a bowl with spoon emoji in the comments to honor the first batch cocktails. And I'll leave you with these parting words. With everything we covered about batching cocktails, don't let anyone tell you this is cheating. Show them a great time, serve them a wonderful cocktail, and watch them change their mind. Cheers, friends of cocktails.